Let's talk about your ideal routine for productivity. First of all, welcome to another video in this channel, Master of Time. My name is Rod Esteves, and I'm here to teach you about productivity, time management, neuroscience of habits, and all that good stuff. Before we move forward, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for a lot more content for you, and please share with your friends. I know that a lot of people can benefit from these videos, so just subscribe. It won't cost you anything, and you're gonna be helping the channel to spread the good message. Okay, so let's talk about the ideal routine for productivity. You're gonna ask me, Rod, is there an ideal routine for everybody? The answer is no. It depends on your schedule, it depends on your motivations, it depends on your situation of life, it depends on a lot of different things. But I'll tell you what is the very first thing that you do when you wake up? Well, the very first thing that you do is turn off your alarm clock. Most likely, if you are like me, that you need an alarm clock to be up. So the very first action that you do that will increase your productivity is cue your snooze. If you snooze, you lose, literally. So what do I mean by this? Well, most of us, we use our cell phones as an alarm clock, right? And our cell phone and a lot of different alarm clocks too, but we'll give you the option to snooze, to sleep that additional 5 minutes, that additional 10 minutes, however long your phone or your alarm clock will do. The important thing to know here, this is the very first action of your day, waking up. This is the first action that you are giving to your brain, is to wake up. If you choose to snooze, it means that you're telling your brain it's okay to postpone this action. It's okay to procrastinate the action that I set you to do, which was wake up. And on average, people snooze 4 times on an average of 10 minutes each time. So imagine that the average person will snooze 40 minutes every single day. Look at first of all, how much time that person is waiting. Second of all, how many times that person is telling the brain, okay, it's okay not to wake up. It's okay not to do this activity that I set to do. So there's a powerful message here in not snoozing. It's telling your brain with a prompt command that you are doing what you are supposed to do and what you set yourself to do, which is wake up. This is a training that you gotta do. Like myself, I had to train my brain to accept that as a command and not to fall into the trap of snoozing. So first I had to put my phone away. So then I had to actually get up to turn it off. Nowadays I don't need to do that because I've trained my brain to understand that it's a command to wake up, but it takes practice. So that's the very first activity. Tell your brain it's time to wake up. Do not snooze. Now, what else do you do right after? Well, there's several things that you can do to increase your productivity. We're talking about a routine for productivity here, okay? So the very first one, we woke up. What comes next? Well, you have to signal your brain that you're waking up. And there are a few ways to do that, because you have to allow yourself time to adjust from being asleep to being awake. So we have to allow yourself for this transition. One of the great ways to transition is hydration. During the night is actually the period that your body dehydrates the most. So when you wake up and you drink a big glass of water, I'm talking about 12 ounces, 16 ounces, a big glass of water, or you hydrate with your choice of a green drink or your choice of a nutritious drink, however you want to hydrate. But water is very important. So I would always start with water, and you can add your supplements there too, but a big glass of water. That hydration is going to not only hydrate your body, obviously, but also signal your brain that it's time to be more alert. And obviously being more alert translates to productivity. And then you can go into another transition period, which I call this your spiritual fill, okay? As a Christian, I have I decided to put in my routine my spiritual fill during the morning. So my very first minutes of the day, I have to fill myself with the Word of God. I do that through reading the Bible. I do that through prayers, devotionals that I also end up posting on my Instagram for other people to do the devotional in the morning if they want to go through my page, for example. But the most important thing is I'm doing my spiritual fill. That is definitely part of my productivity routine in the morning. I'll tell you something interesting that I recently saw on an interview, that there was a study done of people, the impact that would cause in people by reading the Bible. So the studies show that if you read the Bible once a week, you have a small improvement, okay? If you read it twice a week, increased a little bit. 3 times a week, increased a little bit more. But from 4 times a week on, there was a huge spike in the graph. And that spike meant significant increase in some key areas that I'm going to share with you. For example, feeling lonely, it dropped by 32%. If you have anger issues, that dropped by 30% if you're reading the Bible 4 times a week or more. Bitterness in relationship, that's a big one. It dropped by 40%. Alcohol abuse, if you have problems with alcohol, it dropped by 57% if you're reading the Bible 4 times a week or more. And obviously, the feeling of being spiritually stagnant dropped 60%. That's huge. So yes, I consider an essential part of my morning productivity routine reading the Bible and connecting with God. Another activity that you can do that also helps to increase productivity in your morning routine is the exposure to natural light. Because the exposure to natural light will increase your levels of cortisol, which will signal to your body that you're transitioning between being asleep to being awake. Because this cortisol release is associated with this waking up process. So if you have the chance to have natural light, that's great. A little exposure to natural light, go outside, look at the sky. You don't have to actually look at the sun directly, look at the sky. That is going to raise your cortisol levels. Now, if you wake up very early like myself, that the sun is not up yet, that's fine. You can actually use artificial light to give you that sensation of being alert, and obviously that raise that level of cortisol. You can do that through ambient light as well. Natural light is better though. Something that will also enhance your productivity and help you have that energy feel is NSDR, which stands for non-sleep deep rest. Now, you just rested, right? You just woke up. But NSDR will help with giving you a boost of dopamine. It actually increases up to 75% your dopamine level, which then translates to increasing your mood and increasing your motivation. That's one of the things that dopamine would do for you. Non-sleep deep rest will also help you with your cognitive functions as well as your working memory. And the working memory is important because it's responsible for recall and retain information, which is basically a lot of functions that we do on a daily basis. We retain information and we recall that information to use, right? So working on or enhancing your working memory is important, and you can do that through non-sleep deep rest. And some people, they do this session of non-sleep deep rest by doing breathing exercises, which I think is very helpful, because obviously if you do breathing cycles, this helps with a lot of things, but also to bring oxygen to your entire body, to raise levels of dopamine as well. So it's important for you to do what's best, the way that you think it's best for you, that you feel better, but breathing exercises always helps to stay and keep yourself more alert. And one last thing I want to mention, don't rush yourself in the morning. Rushing yourself in the morning is one of the lead causes of stress and anxiety, because when you wake up and you're already late, that will cause a release of a lot of hormones that are associated with stress and anxiety. Okay, so give yourself time. It's better for you to get used to waking up a little earlier, but you still have that morning productivity routine, rather than think, let me sleep a little bit more, maybe 15, 20, 30 minutes more, and then I'll just wake up and go. That's not healthy, okay? That's definitely one of the lead causes for anxiety, is not having enough time in the morning. So give yourself time, not to rush, to appreciate, to maybe do a little gratitude session, to appreciate things before you get into your routine of the day, before people are bothering you on the phone, before people are calling you, and all those things. So take time to start your productivity routine right. Allow yourself that time. I want you to share with me in the comments, what's your productivity routine? What are you doing now that you're boosting that productivity in your morning routine? I want to know. So share it with me in the comments, and I'll see you on our next video. God bless you.